हेलो गाइस। तो गाइस मैं ये वीडियो मैं जो हमने शूट के बाद मैं कर रहा हूँ ये वीडियो रिकॉर्ड। हाँ, जो हम लोगों ने शूट करा वो अराउंड 1 आवर 20 मिनट्स का हो गया इंटरव्यू पूरा। पर गाइस जो इसका कंटेंट है पूरे इंटरव्यू का वो ए क्लास है। चाहे वो सर के आंसर्स हो, चाहे वो सर के लिए वो एग्जाम्पल्स हो, और आप चाहे तो देख लेंगे जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वो अराउंड आजकल सबके मन में ही है एजुकेशन सिस्टम को लेकर। ठीक है, मतलब करंट हैपनिंग पर ही है ऑलमोस्ट सारे क्वेश्चंस। एंड गाइस मतलब ये वीडियो में आपको आपको तो शायद पूरी की पूरी देखनी चाहिए, ये मेरा वो रहेगा सजेशन। लेकिन फिर भी अगर आपको कुछ डाउट रहता है, लंबी है, तो मैंने गाइस डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मैंने क्वेश्चन प्लस उसकी स्टार्ट टाइम कि वो कितने बजे कि वो कितने टाइम पे स्टार्ट हो रहा है मैंने डाल दिया है। तो गाइस प्लीज उसे देख लो, जो आपके इंटरेस्ट के क्वेश्चन है वो तो देखो। और गाइस फिर भी टाइम मिले कभी भी तो गाइस वीडियो तो पूरी आपको देखनी चाहिए, अनबिलीवेबल कंटेंट है, इट्स जस्ट परफेक्ट। एंड गाइस लाइक करना, सब्सक्राइब करना और गाइस कमेंट जरूर करना। और अभी बस हम आएंगे जल्दी एक वीडियो के साथ। और गाइस नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं ध्यान रखूंगा टाइम ड्यूरेशन का। एक्चुअली इस टाइम आंसर्स एकदम वो थे, अनबिलीवेबल थे। मैं चाहकर भी सर को नहीं रोक पा रहा था आंसर्स के बीच, क्योंकि आंसर का कंटेंट इतना बढ़िया था। सो गाइस नेक्स्ट टाइम ध्यान रखेंगे ड्यूरेशन का। और गाइस लेकिन आप इस बार देखो, और मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में क्वेश्चन और उसका स्टार्ट टाइम लिख दिया है नीचे, तो आप अपने इंटरेस्ट के क्वेश्चन देख सकते हो। सो गाइस स्टे सेफ, स्टे होम एंड सी दी वीडियो। Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Video Call पर चर्चा with Aryan Sharma. So today we have Pankaj Chadda sir with us. He is PGT IP in St. Xavier School, Nifta. So for supporting me in my journey, I would like to thank him first before starting our video. So guys, our today's topic of discussion is present education system. So sir, before starting, would you like to say anything?
First of all, let me congratulate on your first episode. It was, I think, well received and well appreciated by everybody.
Yes,
Your
sir.
first interview with Father Ravi John was indeed very successful. And I must also congratulate you with the choice of topics that you take and the questions that you pick up. So they're really well thought of.
Thank you,
And I
sir.
hope my interview somewhere down the line meets your expectations and everybody else's expectations, especially once you have seen Father speaking already on a topic. So it will
Yes,
be
sir.
really challenging, but let's see.
Okay, sir. Sir, these are something I found from internet.
What is it?
You can see there are,
Okay, the education system.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, sir, our first question is what, according to you, is the prime reason for education? Is it better today or was in yesteryears, and how?
See, education is a very broad topic. It's a very vast topic, and you need to understand that education does not merely restrict to the education that we receive in schools. When you were born, or when any child is born, the education starts from that very moment and goes on until we, die. Fine. So right from learning how to feed, from learning how to crawl, from learning how to walk, to face different challenges in life, to speak, to behave, and then joining a school and learning different subjects. For me, education is a very wholesome product. It does not restrict to, merely schools or colleges, maybe universities. No. The formal definition of education definitely is, if you go and check books, if you read books, you'll find that the formal definition of education is limited to public schooling, where teachers are teaching lessons to the students. But according to me, education is a very, very broad topic.
Yes, sir.
Then the second part of your question says that, is it better today or was it, better in the yesteryears? See, earlier when the students in schools, and now I'm specifically focusing on, education in schools. When the students were earlier learning in schools, when they were finding meanings of different things in schools, education at that time was created based on the needs of that time. In that particular era, the resources were very limited. and the education was learning centric. It was important for a child and the teacher to impart education where a student learns first. Whereas if you compare it now, even apart from books, there is a lot of education, there is a lot of learning available around you. Now, because of the needs of the current situation, the learning and the education has changed, and it is now child-centric or learner-centric. Fine. So that is the basic change that I particularly feel is there in the education that was there earlier, or the one that is there, currently is. You cannot really compare the two of them because both educations are based on the demands of that particular era. In that situation, if in the earlier situation, we could have directly jumped to learners, centric education, perhaps it would have not met the requirements of that time. And now, if we still continue to be learning centric, then it will never be justified. Hence, education is also progressing slowly. Learning is also progressing. So from learning centric, I think now we have shifted to learner centric education.
Yeah.
So that is what I think is the change, or the scenario change in education system.
Okay, sir. So, moving towards the next question. In your views, what are the factors in the present education system that lead results for betterment?
Okay, so no, that is exactly what is wrong with the education system right now, or what you see is wrong with the education system right now. See, the systems are developed, and they are developed foolproof. It is how we use them makes it a difference, right? We are wrong in perceiving education system to lead to results. No, the need of education system is not towards betterment of, in terms of monetary or in terms of that. No, there is a very wide difference that we need to understand. There are two basic terms I would say. There is one term is education and the other term is literacy. We need to understand the difference between the two. When you study in a school, when you graduate from a college or a university, you are getting literate. You are learning things. Fine. When you apply that knowledge that you learn in your real life, you are educated. That's a very, very small line, very thin line, but it has a very, vast impact in anybody's life. In modern age, we always, when we look around, all of us, we look around in the environment, near neighborhood, when we watch news and television, everywhere else, we find and we realize, as teachers, we realize that a lot of us are merely literate. The need is to be educated. You getting my point?
Yeah.
Just because आपने एक 12वीं तक 10वीं तक पढ़ाई कर ली, that does not mean just getting educated till a particular level does not mean that you are educated. You are literate, definitely you are literate, but education does not and shall never be dependent on schools, because had it been dependent on schools, education would have not started even before schools. Education is imparting the knowledge that you receive in your real life to improve yourself. So we need to understand what are we actually looking at towards betterment? What is the goal of betterment? Is it only achieving a good salary, a good package, or a good business, or is it becoming good human beings?
But nowadays,
because if you want, let me complete. Because if you want to become good human beings, education is important. That is what I want to say. You want to say something, Arya?
No, sir, nothing.
Okay.
I was saying, but nowadays, all are running towards a good package. Nothing else.
Exactly. That is what I said. When I started my answer, I started with this. You need to understand what are you looking towards with education. What is the goal of education in your life? Is it only achieving a good package, or is it becoming a good human being.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for education, education is designed, and the purpose of education is to make good human beings.
Yeah.
Right? That is why people who are deprived of education can still be better human beings, despite the fact that they might not be better money mentors in life. They might not have a very good package, but they might be good human beings. And you will definitely find a lot of uneducated people, those who are deprived from education. Some of them are really good human beings. They're doing so much a betterment of the world. They're helping the world. They're being so kind.
Yeah.
And any good quality that you want in a human being, you will find in them.
Okay, sir. Now let's move to the next question. So, sir, what are the negative or adverse aspects of current education system?
You want to basically find out where is the current education system currently lacking.
Yeah.
Right. So again, the question basically, what I see is the question is talking about the education, the formal education that we receive in schools, colleges, and etc. Right. See, specifically, if we talk about the Indian scenario, we need to understand that we are a huge population. Fine. Providing education to everybody should be the goal of any government. But currently, as we see, it is not happening. Fine. Whether it was any government, I'm not here to blame any political party or any government or a prime minister or a chief minister or any minister, education minister in this. This is no blame game. But the fact remains the same. Whether it was any government over these years, definitely we have seen progression. We are definitely improving. There is no doubt in it. With change in time, the systems are definitely improvement, but there's a lot more required to it. What I feel are the bottlenecks or the disadvantages or the adverse effects, as you say in your question, are basically the reach of education. Yeah. Education currently should be available to everybody. Now, for that, the government has made education compulsory for everyone. For a lot of rural areas, for people who are, basically underprivileged, people do not have the resources or the money to spend into education. Government has made education free for them. They're giving a lot of, incentives like the food and the meal and everything to lure them to come to schools and study. Yeah. But even then, there's a lot more to be done. Affordability is one major aspect. There's a big difference between government schools and private schools, the public schools and the private schools. There's a lot of difference. And we need to understand the difference. Though the private schools, they boast of giving you very quality education. A lot of government schools are also doing that. But the major problem that these government schools are currently facing is the budget, is the monetary reforms, the monetary resources that these people need, is the quality of education that these people need. A lot of governments have started putting their efforts into this. We have seen a lot of states improving really well in the field of education, but that needs to be a national scenario. All states collectively, collaboratively should work on development of education. The major problem in our country is that we have never given importance, the adequate importance, to the education system. We have given, of course we have given. All governments across these years have given their inputs into education. They have tried to improve it. But the focus that this education system requires is missing. The zeal that this education system requires is missing. And that is not the sole responsibility of any government. That is the sole responsibility of the entire society. Yes. We all should motivate children. A lot of houses still have maids, the workers, the helping hands, which are underage, those who are not going to schools. You have maids, those who are coming to work for you, and sometimes they bring the little ones, which shouldn't be there at your homes right at that moment. They should have been attending schools, but they don't go to schools. Mostly because they do not have the affordability, and sometimes because they don't want to. The Indian society is a very closed shell. They are not open to modern education. They don't want to go and get educated. कई बार एक मन में fear होता है, हम पढ़ लेंगे तो शायद हमारे साथ ये बुरा तो नहीं हो जाएगा. ठीक है, कुछ अभी भी तुम गांव में जाओगे, you go to rural areas, you find that they don't invest into education. They think if my son will go and study for 5 hours, instead if he goes and plows in the farm, he'll get better results.
Yeah.
खेती करेगा तो शायद ज्यादा अच्छा आउटपुट आ जाएगा. तो वो भी एक क्लोज्ड माइंडसेट है जिसको डील करना है. Any government needs to deal with that. So there are a lot of problems. It's a very simple question, but there are a lot of integrated problems associated with the education system. And one major issue that all people neglect is politicization of education system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, over all these years, the education policies have majorly been developed by bureaucrats, by people in politics, by party heads, by ministers,
Yeah.
but not by educators, not by teachers, those who are teaching. There's a lot of difference. Until you get into a classroom, you really do not know, and I mean what I say. Not even parents come to know about it until they actually go and sit in a classroom. What are the needs of a student? How much can a student learn in a day? How much should be given to a student so that he progressively develops? What is the expectation and what is the acceptance of any student or for a student?
Yes, sir.
That only a teacher would come to know. So I personally feel, and we have seen that change already coming in, I personally feel that educators should be a part of policymakers, especially when you're working on the education policy. A new education policy is around to be introduced. The current government is already working on it, and very soon you'll see the education bill to be passed and everything happening. But probably this Corona thing has delayed it. But let's see how things need to change, rather how it will change, because they've already worked on it. We have only heard about it in drafts, but what will be implemented is something to be seen, actual implementation, which will happen in due course of years. So yes, these are certain concerns according to me for the education system.
Yes, sir, you are right. Now let's move towards the next question. Sir, do you feel that the current way of educating children fully prepares them for the needs of 21st century?
Okay. So what do you basically mean by the needs of 21st century? It is basically what the students or the society require. Right. What is the requirement of a society in the 21st century? Are we actually fulfilling that? Understand. Again, my major concern is still the same, which is that my students, my learners are only learning from books. They are not learning what is required in the current scenario. Fine. Systems should be developed in a way that our children are able to handle real life challenges. What is happening right now, understand. Citizens are not able to develop basic skills, human skills. They lack ethical skills. They lack social skills, entrepreneurship skills. So all these things, how to behave in public, how to deal with certain things, how to meet daily life challenges, these are certain things that we are missing. So if we only talk about the needs of 21st century, I think this is most important requirement. These are the most important requirements of 21st century. Citizens and human beings should learn to develop as humans, as a whole package, as humans. Not as a manager or as a CEO. We should not look at challenges or the requirements of 21st century as developing them as, the CEOs of certain companies, as the heads of certain companies. Of course, they will be required. Definitely they will be required. But do they have compassion? That is also important. So education system, for me, should look at these points. And how do you work on these points? You will have to empower your children. You have to make them learners, thinkers, people who critically think, reason out. You know what problem that we teachers face in India is that when we give certain questions to children, the easiest way is to jot down from a book and paste it in the copy. And now with the advent of Google, you just Google a question, you have a lot of answers on your screen, on your mobile screen, on your laptop screen, or desktop screen. You copy that code as it is in your copy and submit it to your teacher without even understanding what is happening.
Yeah.
So we need to make our students researchers, learners, think, analyze what you are doing. These are the skills that we need in the 21st century. If we enable them to empathize with situations, then we make them good human beings. If we make them understand how to reason out things, then we make them good researchers who can find solutions to problems. May enable them to think critically. They will be able to handle the real life challenges that they will face across their life. Collaboration, working as a team. We need to, teach our students to do these things, because students really do not know how to work as a team collaboratively in a very healthy environment. The moment you give them some work to work as a team, the differences start coming in. So they need to understand and appreciate the difference between thoughts of different human beings and collaboratively produce a good output. So that is very important in the 21st century. So these are certain skills that not just the education system, but the entire society has to work on. Religion has to work on this. A lot of places in the world, there is still religious learning happening. So religion is an important aspect of learning. Religion needs to emphasize on that. If education systems like schools, colleges, universities are imparting knowledge, then it is also their important duty to make their children understand what is required to, the qualities that I spoke about. They need to instill these values in them, the value system in them. Families, our culture used to be very strong, but it is going down. Why? Because the value systems are not being transferred to their next generations. The importance of these value systems are not being transferred to the next generation. That is very important. Society at large should help in every such development, because we need to understand India is the youngest country currently in the world.
Yeah.
And if we do not cater to this youth, the world will change radically, not for good, but for bad. If we, the youth of, the current youth of this country, does not act responsibly, accountably, the accountability is missing, then the world will change for bad. So these are certain values, certain skills, certain, the personality things that are supposed to be there in any children. The soft skills are supposed to be there in children. So we should think in a larger perspective in that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, Albert Einstein wrote, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." Do you think that our education system also does the same? Here, every student is judged by his or her ability to study and his or her score in a particular subject.
That's a fact. Education systems, society, teachers, families, everybody measures students on one scale, performance-based index, which is completely wrong. And we have seen this. Places and societies, colleges, schools, universities that have thought about it and have brought this change in their system have seen a very positive change in their students. Earlier, as I said, the focus was on learning, right? In the first question when you asked, I said, there's a focus, the focus was only on learning. It was learning centric. Now it is learner centric. So now what we need to do, the current need is to groom a learner, to make a complete package. And which is why the system has changed. So this too holds true, unfortunately, but not completely. And now again, you need to understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that schools have changed. You know, as educators, we also understand what is lacking. When we stand on the opposite side of the table and when we see the entire class, as a teacher, I can read the eyes and faces of my students and make out what is lacking. As an educator, as a teacher, it is my responsibility to change immediately so as to suit the needs of my class. And this is exactly what the education systems have started doing already. There was a time when schools were only focusing on subjects. You get 100% marks, you are fantastic. You don't get good marks, you are bad, labeled as bad. Now it's no more like that. The systems have radically changed. Yes, there are certain systems, certain societies, those who are still living in that old era, but those places, those who have changed, have found a very positive change in their students. The introduction of co-academics, that is co-curricular activities in schools, is basically nothing else but this. The idea is to make a complete package of a student. So when you go out, you know, the student goes out into the real world, the package is a sellable package. In real life, in professional life, in personal life. Both in professional and personal life, in the real world, the package should be a sellable product. That is what schools are doing. So curricular and co-curricular, you know, when the schools nowadays plan their calendar, they keep a good proportion of curricular and co-curricular needs. These organizations like the CBSE, the national boards, the CBSE, the ICSE, the state boards, have all started incorporating certain tasks in their academic calendar. Like for example, CBSE conducts a lot of activities across the year. And if you participate in these activities, you will definitely grow in a different personality and a different perspective. Similarly, schools are also doing their bit. Conduction of, you know, these debates and elocutions help you develop in your literary areas. Conduction of these cultural events like dance and music competitions help you to develop in that particular area. Conduction of art-based activities help you to develop in that area. So apart from your skills, especially in academic areas, schools are already working on developing skills in co-academic areas. Sports. A lot of schools emphasize on sports because they know the importance of sports in the real life. Not only in their health, according to the health, also in a personality. How to deal with challenges, how to think critically. Sports definitely plays a very important role over there. So this quote of Einstein that you quoted over here definitely holds true. But I would want to say a lot of things are already happening. There are a lot of things already happening that probably has changed the scenario to a little bit. I will not say completely, but to a little bit. Definitely change is there. And as teachers, educators, we definitely see when my students go and succeed in particular, areas, they do well in those areas, and they, after getting their education, completing their education, 5 years after that, 10 years after that, when they come back and share their success stories, we understand that whatever we imparted in them has led to success, has changed things, which is why I personally feel that definitely what you're saying in the quotation, what Albert Einstein said, could have been correct in that area, in that era, I should say. But now things have changed. Schools have changed. They understand that you cannot measure everybody with the same scale. So individual aspects are definitely concerned. But there are limitations that schools have in these areas also. Like for example, you would not expect a teacher or a school to just be compassionate with you and understand, see, because sir, I did not sleep the last night, I was not able to write the answers perfectly well. Unfortunately, these are certain limitations. So when you are conducting an examination, you have to have a measuring scale. But when you are doing other skills, when you are developing other skills, these skills can change. We can see the progression. So now the education system, what we are seeing, radical changes in education system, what we are reading in, you know, what these people are policymakers are suggesting is this only. They are focusing on what is the progression of a child. So that probably will lead to that change that you want in this question. Though the introduction of co-curricular activities, I believe, is already the change to begin with, but with certain things like this, dealing in progression, understanding how much a student has progressed in life, could perhaps add to more aspects of this development, personalized development. Fine?
Okay, sir. In your views, does our education system help students discover their passions, and how?
Now, this is a tricky question. Again, what passions are we looking at? See,
Hobbies.
unfortunately, in this society that we live in, again, when we talk about passions, when you study in a school, we are taught from childhood, or rather, even if it is not taught, we automatically gain this knowledge, we automatically perceive this knowledge, that once you complete a particular course, this is the package that you should be looking at. When students pick up a subject in class 11th, the idea is, sir, I will take X subject because this gives me a package. Where is the passion then? The problem is not with the education system. I have always, in all these questions, been trying to emphasize that education system is only one aspect. The problem lies in all of us. What we are basically selling is only that if you are earning X amount in life, you are successful. If you are learning less than that, you are not successful. The world is basically currently very, very commercial, which is a, you know, absolutely against the system of education. You really do not need to, you know, look at the monetary aspects of gaining after a particular, you know, after learning a particular system or a particular, you know, subject. That should not be the aim. Tell me, when you play in the playground, so Aryan, which is your favorite sport?
Sir, cricket and table tennis.
So when you play in cricket, and since how long have you been playing in you know, cricket?
Around 11, 12 years since I was.
So tell me, in these 11, 12 years, did you play only because you wanted to become a national player? You wanted to be a part of the Indian national team?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Why? Because there was no pressure in that. But do you enjoy playing cricket?
Yeah.
Right. And I shall now ask you a personal question. Which is your stream, Aryan?
PCM.
PCM. That is science, right?
Yeah, science.
Why did you choose science?
Sir, because
it's famous, you want to make a good life out of science.
Yeah.
Right? You associated a goal with it. Are you enjoying science as good as you're enjoying cricket?
No, no, no.
Never. You know the reason now? Because when you play cricket, you do not associate a goal with it. तुम ये नहीं सोचते हो कि अगर मैं आज क्रिकेट खेल रहा हूं तो मैं कल सचिन तेंदुलकर बनूं. ये सोच के कोई क्रिकेट नहीं खेलता. Yeah, for that matter, any activity that you want in life. Which is why the difference comes. ये question ही क्यों उठा? ये question इसीलिए उठा because students really do not like studying because that is not their passion. Because passions are there within yourself. The moment you dissociate this, you know, you differentiate between the education, the learning, and the goal associated with it. क्या होता है? You look at a brochure of a particular college or a degree or a course, and then you see career perspectives associated with it. The moment you will finish class 12, you will realize this. You will automatically get into this trap. And you will go and ask your teachers, your parents, क्या मैं ये course कर लूं? And then you will say कि ये course करने के बाद में ना ये मिल सकता है और मुझे इसमें इतना बड़ा package मिलेगा. Then you know there will be people, elders like me, your parents and everybody else. हाँ तू ये कर ले. तो बाबा इसके अंदर ना महीने का 4 लाख का पैकेज होगा, ये मंथली 4 लाख रुपए मिल जाएंगे. हाँ तू ये कर ले. You go and select a university. You go and ask them, what is the highest package your university has received? Then they will tell you, you know, this is the amount of package that, you know, my student has received, and, you know, he's working there and there. They will provide you with a good list of universities and colleges and companies that have hired them and provided them with good packages, schools, colleges, everybody's doing that. The reason is why? Because you're looking at this kind of a goal. You're not looking at achieving, helping, anything else in life. So where is your passion? The passion does not lie in that. The thing that you want, ideally, is students should be allowed to pursue their passions as their professions. And let me tell you very honestly, in life, if you make your passion your profession, you will never get tired. Trust me, you will never get tired.
Yes, sir.
Something that you like to do, you will even get up at night to finish that work. But something that you do not want to do, you do not have interest in that, you will not like to do it. Even when you are, you know, absolutely focused. Book उठाते सारे बच्चों को नींद क्यों आ जाती है? क्योंकि वो उनका passion है. So develop a passion in that also. You need to find out how to develop a passion in that also. So the education system, we cannot be completely blamed in situations like this. Everybody is to be blamed. चाहे वो schools हो, चाहे वो parents हो, चाहे वो societies हो, है ना? वो एक there's a very old joke, शर्मा जी के बेटे ने ये कर दिया, right? So what is that basically? Why did that joke come? How did it come? That is basically nothing but a pressure on a student. That if somebody's son can do or a daughter can do, you can also do it. So that's an automatic pressure. Who has put that pressure? Has that pressure been put up by the school or a teacher, or by a parent, or by the society?
Society would be more.
Right? You need to understand that. Similarly, you get these big posters, you know, advertisements in the newspapers. One complete page dedicated to one coaching institute. You're a science student. I will address it accordingly. You're a science student. When do science students start taking coachings for their national hobby, IIT? I always call this, you know, science students ka national hobby hota hai IIT. They don't even realize what it takes to become an IITian. When do students start preparing for IIT?
Yes, sir, in class 9th and 11th. Some students
ideally they should begin in 11th standard.
Yeah, but some.
And when do these coaching places, and I will not name any professional institution for that because I don't want to again put it, you know, any controversy in your interview. But when do these institutes start training? Starting from 6th standard. Starting from 6th standard.
Yeah.
Not even 11th class student is clear about his career objectives. How can a 6th standard student understand what he or she wants in life? You kill the passion there. Probably one of them wanted to become a cricketer. But you put that child into a loop. सुबह 7 बजे से लेके 3 बजे तक स्कूल, 3 बजे से लेके 8 बजे तक कोचिंग. Where is the time left for the passion? What passion are we talking about? You don't have personal time. Students have become nothing else but, you know, like a machine. You switch the engine on in the morning. A factory में morning में ना वो siren बजता है. That indicates कि industry start हो गई है.
Yeah.
और शाम को बंद होता है. Similarly, student की life हम लोगों ने ऐसी help कर दी है कि morning में 7 बजे वो siren बजा देते हैं और वो 8-9 बजे बच्चा खुद इतना थक जाता है कि वो सायरन बंद हो जाता है. Unfortunately, that is the problem with our society. Again, हमारे गोल्स क्या होते हैं? फलाने के बच्चे को गूगल में सिलेक्शन होके इतना पैकेज मिला, तो मेरे बच्चे को तो उससे ज्यादा मिलना चाहिए. अरे मेरा बच्चा हो सकता है बहुत अच्छा डांसर बन सकता है, कोरियोग्राफर बन सकता है, हो सकता है उसके स्किल्स कुछ और हो, बट नहीं, ये भी प्रॉब्लम. So we cannot blame everything to the education system. The society has its role to play. Where is the society now? The society has its role here. क्योंकि हम बाद में बहुत easily blame कर देते हैं कि आपने ये तो किया ही नहीं, तो आपने उनको करने कहाँ दिया? You know, a lot of successful musicians in India. Do you know Shankar Ehsaan Loy?
Yeah.
Shankar is a dropout from engineering. He did not pursue his engineering. I'm not sure probably, but whether he completed his engineering or not. But I once heard in his interview, he's a dropout from engineering. He shifted to music once he realized that his passion is music. But all these years he was into engineering. A lot of web series do you see these days where students have interest in
Chetan Bhagat
a separate
also.
area, separate.
Chetan
Come again?
Bhagat also.
Yeah, of course. A lot of movies have been made on this. So the change is coming. Now, I tell you very clearly and very honestly, when I was a student, there was a perception. Best will get into science, average will get into commerce, and the worst will get into arts. ये उस समय का सिनेरियो था जो 100% गलत है. Today's best will not think twice before getting into arts, because it's no more the third grade stream. It is equally good. So that change has already come. The problem is we as society, parents, families need to support our children. Parents need to support their children. अगर कोई बच्चा ये कहता है कि मुझे कोरियोग्राफर बनना है, मुझे क्रिकेटर बनना है, मुझे फुटबॉल में करियर बनाना है, allow them. कोई कहता है मुझे ऑथर बनना है, allow them. Let them pursue their own dreams. It is very important.
Yes, sir.
Because once you are balanced in your own life, when you are satisfied, contented with what you want in life, you can make the life of others also beautiful. Human skills. Right?
Yes, sir. I agree with you.
Next question.
Is the present system of education for profession or for moral uplift? Sir, which one do you prefer?
I think in all this discussion, I've already majorly clarified where is my inclination. But I will say that we need a system which is an amalgamation of both, a combination of both. We cannot just go for development of moral values and leave the professional growth behind, or vice versa. We cannot just have students getting into professional life and leaving the moral values, because both will have their own side effects. So we need a combination, a well-knit combination, something very balanced for any student.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was saying that.
You wanted to say something, right?
Nothing. I was saying, yeah.
So as I was saying, that for me, both the things are required. One needs to work in the professional skills. And I reiterate, when I talk about developing your passion, developing your skills, I do not want to say that you should not groom your professional skills. You should definitely groom your professional skills, but not at the cost of your passion, not at the cost of your moral values, not at the cost of your own being. Develop as a package. When you go into the market, in a supermarket, there are, let's say, you go to a particular supermarket, in a particular shelf, there are a lot of products.
Yeah.
Let's say soap. Fine. You have soap from company X, from company Y, and from company Z. The packaging of soap of company Y was better than both of them. And they're all three new products. Which one will you choose?
Y. Brand Y.
Definitely Y. So what should we be working today on? On a package. Fine. So that is why I say it should be an amalgamation of professional as well as moral upliftment. Both are required in an individual. Next question.
In your views, what does it mean to be educated and digitally literate in the 21st century?
See, you have now with this question kind of agreed to my concept of education.
Yeah.
In my point of view, as I stated in the beginning,
Yeah,
education is not the formal learning that you receive in school. Right? In a lot of families, nowadays, there are grandparents, parents, children. Fine. If we talk about one very popular electronic gadget, let's say mobiles. First, parents and then the children started using it, right? But we will find that children are more adept at using these skills like mobiles. They know a lot of more features than the parents. Correct? We all agree with it. Fine? Yeah. That's okay. That is normal. What about grandparents? They have never in their life perhaps even seen a gadget until you brought it to them. A lot of grandparents still do not know how to operate a phone. I know a lot of people, aging people, who do not even perhaps know how to dial a phone. They need help of others. That's a very simple task in a mobile phone, right? Dialing a phone. But they're scared of a digital gadget. Now, when they start using it, you will find that a lot of aging people, grandparents in families, have started using it wonderfully. So where did they get this education from of using this digital gadget? From a school or from their family?
Family.
A lot, at times, these grandchildren sit with their grandpas and grandmothers and teach them. Dadi, isko dekho, YouTube ko aise chalate hain.
Yeah.
Okay, the dadi might not be interested in your Honey Singh songs, but she can definitely use YouTube to listen to songs that she wants. Maybe certain bhajans. Fine. If she's perhaps still active and God has blessed her, perhaps she would go to YouTube and look for recipes and make something delicious for you. Right? So, again, your question says, what do you mean by educated and being digitally literate in this century? So, education is now a very big umbrella. And digital literacy is now a very small pod in this umbrella, small plant, which is growing. Digitally literacy is now the need of society. If India was perhaps not being prepared how to use, perhaps we were not being prepared how to use a mobile phone, how to be, conducting digital transactions, how to be doing this. Sitting at homes for more than now 40, 45, 50 days would have been difficult. In all this period of time, a lot of people, if you go and check the statistics, companies will share with you, you go and find out, digital transactions have increased many folds time. How did it happen? People learned it out of need. When demonetization happened, a lot of people criticized this, right? But what it led to was a separate kind of learning. People started using these digital transactions. Schools were very afraid of bringing in digital, the digital medium of education into their school lives. They were apprehensive about it. But now what has happened? Because of Corona, every teacher is working on using these resources.
Yeah.
And they are doing wonderfully well, I'm telling you. You as a student should go and check this. And I give this a task to every student who's listening to and watching this video. Post-Corona, do go and check. The quality of videos that were available on the internet earlier on different topics and the quality of videos that are available now, there's a lot of difference. Why? Because the teachers, those who are teaching in classes, have now come and they have recorded their videos and they have put it on YouTube for you to see. That is good knowledge. Quality knowledge.
Quality teacher.
I will not say that everybody who had posted content earlier was, serving you something which was not of good quality. There were good quality videos, definitely. But then there was a lot of garbage also. And I mean what I say. There's a lot of garbage. You have to be very selective when you watch these videos on the internet. And when I'm talking about it, I'm particularly being focused to education systems, to learning in schools, colleges, and universities. So you need to be very selective. But now when you see your own teacher teaching there, and when you, or perhaps not even your own teacher, let's say, for example, you are not satisfied with your own teacher, but there are a lot of school teachers, those who are uploaded videos. You can go and definitely watch those videos. What has led to this change? Even in remote areas. Now understand, let's say a boy or a girl from a rural area has not gotten privilege to study from a very good teacher from X area, from a very urban area, from a very good school or a private school or a public school or a government school. Let's say the teacher was very good. But now, due to this corona, the positive thing is that these resources are available online. Anybody could go and watch them now. So that is again very good. So the digital part is one big, under the big umbrella, education. Education is everything in the real life world. Yes. When did we actually think of recording a video like this earlier? Never. Perhaps if you had to conduct an interview, you would have, we would have sat in a room with a microphone or with a camera and done that. Unfortunately, now we are into a situation and creativity comes out of it. We think and we found a solution. You found a solution for this. You wanted to interact, you found a solution. So that is learning, that is education. And that is possible because of being digitally literate. The importance is that we need to educate everybody in this digital world. But we also need to teach them what are the disadvantages of the digital world. There are a lot of scams happening in the digital world. A lot of, and a lot of times you receive these calls where they ask you, "Aapka bank account mein ye paisa aane wala hai, aap apna PIN number de dijiye." Mat dijiye. Mat dijiye. A lot of times you get these very misleading posts on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook. Don't read them. Ignore them. Don't forward them. Don't spread them. If you get a message on the internet stating, or maybe on a WhatsApp group, or maybe somebody sends you, a close friend sends you, this has happened. Find out if it actually happened. You'll realize it never happened. It is completely fake. So in this digital world, you need to be very careful also. So that is how and why the skills of 21st century, in the previous question that you asked, are important. Think critically. Reason out. Find out. And then imbibe it in your personality. Fine. So education will definitely involve digital learning now in this 21st and beyond that also.
Okay, sir. Now are you done?
Next question.
Yes, sir. Sir, do you rate education system to limited books, exams, career, or something beyond? Has it a short-sighted vision or a long perspective?
I think in all these questions I've already answered this.
Yeah.
Education system is a huge umbrella. Education is a huge umbrella. You cannot and you should not restrict it to just merely to books or to exams or to a career. It has to do much more than that. Developing a complete personality of a human being is education system. Fine. So when you're talking about education, even this is my sincere advice and a request to all those people who are involved in developing systems like this, in developing policies on systems like this, that when you're thinking about it, think what is the goal that you're wanting your students to have, citizens to have, what do you expect them to be, and accordingly develop policies. So the education system for me is a very huge umbrella, and it involves every aspect of human being, which is very important. We need to teach them So it's not a very small goal of 10 years or 12 years or 14 years of school learning. It is a lifelong perspective. How human beings, how citizens of a particular country should be. What should they think? How should they think? Is everything that which should be, there. And then there should be one standardization also. During this lockdown period, I have realized that a lot of problems are occurring because there is no standardization in the education system. There has to be one standardized approach.
People
In
are throwing
universities
stones
also.
on police,
Come
medical
again?
staff. People are throwing stones on police, medical staff.
But then these are again the skills that of 21st century human beings should have. These are lack of human skills. So perhaps the system, the society failed them how to behave socially. We have, again I said, we have not taught our students, our citizens how to behave socially. Which is why they are doing this. Are people like you and me pelting stones on somebody? We are not. The reason is perhaps we have been given those values from the system where I am coming from, the education that I have received or you have received. So it is the responsibility of the society to give such values in education to everybody, so that we do not have these shameful incidents happening.
Yeah.
Fine. So it has to be a long goal. Like
Whenever any result is announced, hundreds of students commit suicide. Who, according to you, should be blamed? Student, parents, society, or the education system for the action students take?
see, now very unfortunate question you have asked, which is a harsh reality
Yeah.
in our society. Students committing suicide for not getting successful. So how did this come to them? Who taught them
Competition.
that you have to be successful?
Society
Who taught
competition.
them what is the definition of being successful? What is success? Success
Good
can be
education,
achieved in just doing a small task, and it might not be achieved in even doing the biggest task of your life. Unfortunately, as a society, we have failed completely in this aspect. हम हमारे बच्चों को शाबाशी तब देते हैं जब वो अच्छी परसेंटेज लेके आता है, और मैंने जानबूझ के ये चीज हिंदी में बोली ताकि कोई पेरेंट इस बात को सुने तो वो भी इस बात को समझे, और बच्चे भी, क्योंकि बच्चे शर्त रखते हैं कि अगर मैं इतनी परसेंटेज लेके आऊंगा तो आप मुझे एक आईफोन दिलाओ. And this is not something to laugh, Aryan. This actually happened, and I'm narrating you a real life incident story that happened with one of my students.
No, sir,
years
because
back.
I was because I was laughing. Yeah.
This is your real life story?
Yeah. Same thing is with
Exactly.
same thing happened with me also.
I'm telling you what.
If I got above 90%,
I don't remember how many years exactly, but this happened in one of my schools that I was teaching earlier. There was a teacher whose son had come to class 11th and was not studying. So I happened to be the class teacher. So the teacher came to me. She was a colleague, right? And she came to me कि sir मुझे ना आपसे कुछ discuss करना अपने बेटे के बारे में. कहाँ बोलिए? तो according to me the child was good, bright, but what the parent told me was very disturbing. The parent said, sir वो ना पढ़ाई नहीं करता घर पे बिल्कुल भी. तो मैंने कहा क्यों? आपका बच्चा तो सही है, पढ़ाई में अच्छा है, इंटेलिजेंट है, क्लास में भी रिस्पॉन्स अच्छा देता है. सर यही तो प्रॉब्लम है, मेरा बेटा इंटेलिजेंट है मगर वो पढ़ता नहीं है, क्योंकि वो ये कहता है कि अगर आप मुझे बाइक दिलाओगे तभी मैं रिजल्ट लाऊंगा. See, deals, business. How did it reach the child? I do not know. But the child presented a condition to the parent. Unfortunately, जो वो parent था, वो एक single parent, और वो उतना afford नहीं कर सकती थी. तो उन्होंने मुझे आके बोला सर मैं afford नहीं कर सकती, मेरे husband नहीं है, मैं उस बच्चे को अकेले पालती हूँ, वो मेरे साथ में रहता है, मैं उसका सारी चीजों का ध्यान रखती हूँ सर। वो कोचिंग जाता है, जो भी जाता है, मैं अपनी सैलरी से ही सब कुछ करती हूँ, मेरे पास कोई एक्स्ट्रा इनकम भी नहीं है, मैं ये सब चीजें नहीं कर सकती। You know what I advice I gave to the parent? I said, don't give him the bike. Let him fail for 1 year. Because अगर एक बार वो इस चीज को समझ लेगा तो जिंदगी भर काम आएगी. And actually it happened. She did not succumb to the pressure made by the student, and the child failed in the first term. And he realized what he did to himself. Eventually, when the child passed out of class 12, he got good grades because perhaps the lesson was delivered in time. But that is what we are doing. हम हमारे बच्चों को ये तो बताते हैं, शाबाशी देते हैं कि तुमने अच्छा रिजल्ट लाया, या उसको बाइक तब दिलाते हैं जब उसने अच्छा रिजल्ट लाया, मगर हम उसको ये नहीं बताते हैं कि अगर वो अच्छा रिजल्ट नहीं लाया तब भी वो उतना ही स्पेशल। जब हमारा बच्चा चलना सीखता है ना, तो वो गिरता है पहले, मगर तब पेरेंट क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करता कि तुम गिर कैसे गए, शर्मा जी का बेटा तो नहीं गिरा था, तुम कैसे गिर गए, क्योंकि तब पेरेंट को मालूम होता है कि गिरने से ही बच्चा चलना सीखेगा। मगर ये लेसन हम बाद में देना भूल जाते हैं। हम बच्चे को ये बताना भूल जाते हैं कि फेल होना किसी भी चीज में फेल होना क्यों जरूरी है। यू नो, मैं एक आईटी टीचर, एक प्रोग्रामर हूं, मैं मेरे स्टूडेंट्स को एक चीज सिखाता हूं, कभी भी प्रोग्रामिंग में एरर्स से मत डरो। जब मैंने पढ़ाई करी थी, जब मैं पढ़ता था, when I was as a student, there was a particular lesson which is data structures. ठीक है, if you do engineering you will come across this, and my data structures were data structures with programming language called C. So when we used to make program, these programs were of certain pages, 10 पन्नों का, 15 पन्नों का, when you print out on them pages, they were around 10 to 15 pages का प्रोग्रामिंग चल रहा है। And when you used to execute them, when we used to execute on these computers, कई बार errors पता है कितने आते थे? 100 error, 150 error एक साथ। Now it is very easy for anybody to leave the program there। 150 error कौन solve करेगा भाई? But it was very easy even then to sit and find what the errors were. So what we need to teach us to children is कि हर failure आपको सक्सेस के पास लेके जा रहा है। तो अगर एक चीज को पहुंचने के, करेक्ट आउटपुट आने के एक प्रोग्राम में 100 एरर्स आए, मैं अगर एक बार में एक एरर हटा रहा हूं तो अब सिर्फ 99 स्टेप्स रह गए, एक और हटा दिया 98 स्टेप्स रह गए, धीरे 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 आई विल गेट द करेक्ट आउटपुट। और कई बार क्या होता था, एक एरर हटाने से कोई एकदम से 50-60 एरर अपने आप हट जाते थे, बिकॉज वो आपस में एसोसिएटेड होते थे। सो दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन रियल लाइफ। हम हमारे बच्चों को ये क्यों नहीं बताते कि हम भी फेल हुए थे किसी चीज के अंदर? क्या एज पेरेंट्स, एज टीचर्स हम हर चीज में सक्सेसफुल हुए हैं? हो ही नहीं सकता। एवरी इंडिविजुअल हैज फेल्ड इन सम एस्पेक्ट और द अदर। क्यों आज जो है आप, मैं बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेता हूं, क्या आपके घर में जो भी खाना बनाता है उससे कभी सब्जी जली नहीं होगी? जली होगी, बट क्या उसने खाना बनाना छोड़ दिया? नहीं छोड़। मगर अगर हम उसको इतना प्रेशर बना देंगे कि तुमसे सब्जी नहीं जल सकती, अगर जल गई तो जीवन खत्म, तो वो खाना बनाने वाला चाहे वो कोई भी हो, वो शायद वो वही करेगा जो ये बच्चे करते हैं। We cannot pressurize our students. Yes, give them goals in life. Definitely. Motivate them. Tell them what is expected in life, what you are supposed to do in life, but do not force them to do that. Tell them that there are other ways also. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हर इंसान जिंदगी में सचिन तेंदुलकर बनेगा। कोई सिर्फ गली में खेल के भी क्रिकेट छोड़ सकता है और उसी में एंजॉय कर सकता है। That is also acceptable in society. ये किसने बोला कि सबको उसी लेवल पे पहुंचना है? आईआईटी एक गोल थोड़ी होता है, आईआईटी एक ड्रीम होता है। नहीं अचीव किया कोई बात नहीं, दूसरे ऑप्शंस भी हैं, हो सकता है तुम वो चीज ज्यादा बेहतर कर सको। अगर हम ये चीज हमारे बच्चे को नहीं सिखाते। इन आवर कंट्री देयर आर हब्स जहां पे बच्चे अपनी फैमिलीज को छोड़ के रह रहे हैं, और वहां पे एक रूम में एक बच्चा नहीं, कभी कभी 3-3 बच्चे रहते हैं।
सर आजकल ये
एक बच्चा अपना अकेले का प्रेशर नहीं हैंडल करता, वो साथ में 2 बच्चों का प्रेशर भी हैंडल करता है। कि जब वो जाके पीजी में और 50 बच्चों से मिलता है, वो उन सबका प्रेशर भी हैंडल करता है. So much of is happening. Colleges, schools, coaching institutes, एक ही चीज सिखाते हैं बच्चे को. वो होती है ना, यहाँ पे लगा देते हैं कि आपको और कुछ नहीं दिखता, आपको वही दिखता है. हम हमारे बच्चों को यही सिखाते हैं कि तुम्हें यही करना है, नहीं करोगे तो तुम फेल हो जिंदगी में, बर्बाद हो तुम जिंदगी, which is absolutely incorrect.
सर आजकल कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट फैक्ट्रीज बनी हुई हैं.
वो फैक्ट्रीज क्यों बनी है? क्योंकि
तो
हमारे
इंसान बन के
एस्पिरेशंस
आओ.
इतने हाई हैं. हमारे एस्पिरेशन, सी अगेन, ये इकोनॉमिक्स का फंडा है, डिमांड एंड सप्लाई. योर डिमांड इज टू हाई, तुम मांग रहे हो तो सप्लाई करने वाला कोई तो आएगा. आज इन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने, स्टेट्स गवर्नमेंट ने अगर लिकर बेची है लॉकडाउन के अंदर एट 70% ऑफ हाइक, even then they were sold.
Yeah.
They were bought by people, those who do not have enough. They do not have funds to sustain.
Sir, you are not clear.
उनके पास इतना पैसा नहीं है
Sir, you are not
कि वो अपनी
clear.
फैमिली चला सके, मगर उनके पास में इतना पैसा था कि वो 4 घंटे 5 घंटे लाइन में लग के 70% एक्स्ट्रा देके लिकर खरीद सकें, और एक नहीं ढेर 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 खरीद सकें. वो कहां से आ गया? वो कैसे सक्सेसफुल हो गया? वो कैसे पॉसिबल हो गया? तो ये गलती हमारी सोसाइटी की है, स्टूडेंट्स की भी है, बिकॉज वो स्टूडेंट वो प्रेशर अपने आप भी क्रिएट कर लेते हैं. कई बार पेरेंट्स का प्रेशर नहीं होता, टीचर्स का प्रेशर नहीं होता. पेरेंट्स कहते हैं बेटा कुछ भी बन जा जिंदगी में, नहीं मुझे तो यही करना है. क्यों? किसने बोला? किस बुक में लिखा है? किस जगह पे बोला गया तुम अगर कहीं का सीईओ बनोगे तभी सक्सेसफुल हो लाइफ के अंदर?
यस सर.
एक बहुत पुरानी कोट है, किसी ने कही थी कि जो कुछ नहीं करते वो कमाल करते हैं. तो कभी कभी कुछ ना करने में भी कमाल होता है, उसके अपने रीजन हैं. उसके अपने फायदे हैं, right? So definitely this is a very unfortunate thing that is happening in this world, but then we all are equally responsible for this and we need to think about it.
Yes sir.
This is not good for us, right?
So sir, what changes according to you are necessary in our education system?
Again, I think I have answered a lot of
Yeah.
major part of this question in all these
Please,
the previous questions.
Please summarize.
But I will
Please summarize.
say, I will just put it very briefly. We need to change the way of, what do you say, the drawbacks. We need to address these drawbacks again and again. We need to stop the concept of rote learning. If you want research to happen, stop the concept of rote learning. Students need not mug up and reflect. Again, I have a real life story to share. I once had a student, and in fact, this happens every year. There's a particular subject wherein the students are expected to write the points as it is. Fine. So there was a student of mine who said कि सर मुझसे रटा नहीं जाता. तो मैंने कहा किसने कहा रटने के लिए? The education system does not want you to become rote learners. You need to give your answers to queries and questions. Who has asked you to ratify everything and produce it? So he said, when we don't write exactly as it is in the book, the teachers cut marks. So that led me to research. I could have not just believed the student and blamed, the teacher or the concept of this. So I researched on it, and I found out that for the particular subject, is it important for a student to write as it is, the points as it is? So I got a lot of responses, and then I got a response from a very senior teacher, who is a very leading teacher in the national boards and in that particular subject. And in one of a similar question that some student had raised, he replied that no, it is not important to write the answers as it is, as they are in the book, not even the headings, but their meanings are important. So see, he was very clear in his approach, and he was a very senior teacher, which means the problem was not in the system. The problem was in the implementation of the system. So those who were evaluating that subject, they perhaps learned the way of rote learning from their teachers, and that is what they are imparting. So I am completely against rote learning. Students should be encouraged, taught how to write proper answers. Yes, teachers should tell them that, we have deducted marks because out of these 10 points in a particular answer, you missed on these. So the student will learn what is the importance of those points. Fine, we should teach them those things. So the points are important. But is it necessary to write them as it is, as they are in the book? Definitely. That is rote learning. Discourage them. Allow the student to research. Google copy and paste should be completely abolished. The universities in India have recently changed in the aspect that when the students are publishing their research papers, not recently, this is it's a very long change that has happened actually. When the students are submitting the research papers, they put it on a PLAG test. Now, what is a PLAG test? You need to understand as a student.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a concept of plagiarism. Plagiarism is a concept where you copy and paste something from somewhere without giving credit. So that is not your own answer. That is not your concept. So the students across the country are majorly doing this. Question आया as it is, net पे डाला, Google पे जो answer आया, copy में लिख दिया. That is not your work. What is your work? If you want help, go study, find on the internet, find 10 websites, find your answers and then write it in your own words. That is your work. Research is very important because research will always lead you to further knowledge beyond books. Fine. So researching is very important. This is one thing that we need to change in our system. We need to make our students think critically. As I said earlier, critical thinking is very important because when you start reasoning out what is good and what is bad, then you will perhaps not pelt stones, as you said, right? You will start finding out what is correct and what is incorrect. Yes, you may disagree with a particular person or a person, person's philosophy, but you still have approaches to show your disagreement. Disagreement does not need to be necessarily shown by getting into a violent situation. There are different approaches of showing. Non-cooperation movement was one approach used by Mahatma Gandhi. You don't cooperate, okay, fine. You show your disagreement to certain philosophies. Philosophies using different approaches, that is okay, but not using facts. That is wrong. Fine. One major thing that we need to emphasize as policymakers, all subjects should be equal.
Yeah.
Not that you are studying one subject on a one stream, they are important and the others are not important. If you are studying 5 subjects in a stream, all these 5 subjects should be equally important because you never know which student has a skill in a particular subject which you do not think is important. Students should not learn the way the teachers want in the school. मुझे अगर X subject पसंद है तो मैं ऐसा environment नहीं create करूं कि मेरे students को भी वही subject पसंद हो. That is wrong. That is my choice. मुझे एक चीज पसंद है, किसी और की choice कुछ और हो सकती है. Value that. उसको भी उतनी importance दो. Technology को use करो. तुमने digital learning पूछा था. You talked about digital learning. We need to incorporate digital technology in current education system, which we have already started doing now. Good for all of us. The digital concept of education will enable students to learn beyond topics. With the advent of artificial intelligence, soon you'll find artificial intelligence incorporated into schools. Augmented learning, way of concept. Machine learning, बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे concepts जो develop होने society में, you'll find that they will come into education system also, which will obviously benefit. So digital technology को use करना बहुत जरूरी है. बच्चों को ये सिखाना बहुत जरूरी है कि क्या professionalism ये goal होना चाहिए? नहीं. There are multiple goals, and all of them are equally important. Professionally being successful is good for livelihood. certainly.
Yeah.
But being good human being is also very important. So there are a lot of reforms that, you know, when we talk, we can think about it. Some of which you may, you know, agree, some of which you may not you may not agree with me. Similarly, you will have certain points. So people need to deliberate on this. एक जना बोल के dictate कर देगा, वो possible नहीं है आज के ज़माने में. Which is why the current government is working on it with a lot of people. The education policy that we have, you know, been hearing of has been made by a lot of policy makers, out of which some of them are educationalists. So let's see how things come up, and even if, you know, they do not come up to the expectation that we want as teachers and students, even then there is a way out. That's not the end of the world. We can, as teachers and students, you know, the government opened a platform where we could, you know, raise our concerns, objections to certain policies, where teachers did, and based on that, they're still, you know, deliberating on it and finalizing it. Final draft आया नहीं, final bill आया नहीं. Let's see कैसे आता है. But the point is that a lot of things need to be done in the education system, and they are being done, which is good for us. And certain drawbacks of education system needs to be, you know, done away with. We need to emphasize on developing the skills which are required for anybody in the next century. Our goal should not be short-lived, it should be long-lived. It should be addressing to major concerns of the world in future. Understand, we are the youngest nation in the world, and that if we enable our citizens to become good leaders, the world will become and will be in good hands. So that is what the education system currently should focus on: making good human beings, making good leaders, making good people, citizens. So that India becomes, and, you know, the dream that every Indian has, that India should become a superpower. So I think that is perhaps the answer to this question.
Sir, apart from a great teacher, you are also a great chef. What all dishes are Pankaj sir special? And what you want to say about this one?
What all are?
What all dishes are Pankaj sir special? What do you want to say about this one?
So perhaps you have shown this already in your slide. This is a pasta that I cooked personally. So, you know, I don't cook much. My wife and my mother they are good cooks. So perhaps, you know, as Indian families are, they will not like me getting into their kitchen and spoiling and messing up everything. But there are certain things that I, you know, one of these is already there in your slides. And rest, if you want to explore my cooking skills, I would, you know, welcome you to come to my place after the lockdown is over and after everything is good, and then perhaps I'll cook you something and can eat. Yeah.
What all, sir? These are what all are Pankaj sir special dishes?
See, this has to be a secret,
Name
Aryan,
5 to 6.
because, you know, I love posting what I cook, and I love that you know, you don't like me posting what I cook, because until now you were in a blocked area where you were not allowed to go out and buy and eat certain things. So I love to tease you in that way. So I will not disclose everything. However, as I told, I'm not a very good chef or a good cook, but I love to explore. And there are 2 more dishes that I will share with you, because I've already made them. We've eaten them up, but I have good pictures of them to be shared, which I will share with you on my posts very soon. And I will again tease you. Okay. I love doing that, Aryan, because you get teased so easily. So I love doing that.
So, sir, thank you for your time. Anything else?
Thank you, Aryan. Thank you.
Sir, anything else?
I mean, I really, you know, before this interview was, you know, started, and you had planned and you approached me for this interview, I was really very apprehensive, you know, whether I will be able to meet up the requirements that you are expecting me to put up to. But I don't know. I mean, the responses of the video will tell us whether I was successful or I was not successful. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, just like the previous interview with Father Ravi John, your questions, the choice of questions is really good. I must, you know, appreciate. And this skill, again, this is a skill that you have. And I suggest, Aryan, you should develop this skill. You have a good skill of interviewing. of finding questions, what to interview. You know, a lot of interviews do happen, but people do not contemplate these questions. When I was answering them, made me think twice.
Yeah, sir.
You know, which is why my answers were pretty long, because, you know, had these questions been very simple and straightforward, probably in a line or two I would have answered. My answers were pretty long in certain cases because you made me think on these questions. So your choice of questions was you know, the choice was really good. And I appreciate this, you know, the new skill that you have found within yourself. And I appreciate your family who is, you know, appreciating you this. They are motivating you for this, that you're doing this. Apart from all your digital learning that is happening at home right now, you're taking out time for this, which is really commendable. And I congratulate you for this series that you've started. And I wish luck for your further interviews. I
Thank
hope
you,
you know, gain a good number of audience.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Arun. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.